Jim, congratulations. Can you just give us your take on that 90 minutes?
Thank you. Yeah, we're obviously very pleased with the final result. We came a little bit slow out of the blocks again, unfortunately, and found ourselves going a goal behind. But I think if you're going to concede a goal in a game, that's probably the best time to do it. It gives you the next 89 minutes to go and get yourselves back in it. Got to give great credit to the players again. Never really panicked. Continued to try and play the way that we want to play. Showed a lot of composure. You can sense the frustration sometimes coming from the stands where they're wanting you to get the ball forward that bit earlier. But we do have a certain way of playing, and we're not afraid to start again if there's no passes on forward. And we've been trying to manipulate the ball out the opposite side to try and free up the opposite fullback and winger. And I think we got a lot of success with that today. We worked hard during the week on getting the ball into wide areas. I fancied us in those 1v1s, and a number of the goals come from those areas. Some great deliveries into the box today. We had first contact, I think, even at 1-0 down, we had first contact on 3 or 4 really good crosses in the first half. Tony's unlucky with a couple of them. But the boys kept going, got the rewards, scored some really good goals. And, toward the end there, last 10 or 15 minutes, my only criticism probably would be that we didn't stay on the ball enough, show a bit more composure in possession. But we were quite happy to come off the game, deny Queen's Park any space, and just see the game out.
It was maybe a wee bit similar to that Airdrie game in terms of there's mixed messaging, because obviously you're telling the players don't go and chase because Queen's Park will just pop it around you, but naturally the fans are wanting you to go and put a bit of pressure on their backline.
Yeah, I think initially that was the message, to deny Queen's Park any space into the middle of the pitch. They've got some very good technical players in the middle of the park, and we tried to force them into long balls, and I thought you saw that. The opening 10 minutes, their 2 centre halves didn't really have any passes on, ended up punting the ball forward, and more often than not Gallagher, Holt were picking up winning those aerial duels, Docherty, Sybil picking up second balls, or it was running through to Jack Walton. So we were happy enough with the shape, but the longer the game goes on, you don't get that equaliser, then you do have to commit a little bit more and push a little bit higher up the pitch, and we got that message on to the players. And I thought once we done that, we got real control in the game, and just delighted for the players that they can continue on this unbeaten run that we're on. I think in the last 10 competitive games, I think we've had 8 wins and 2 draws. It's a great run for any team at any level. We know the expectation that's on us here, especially at Tannadice. We know how much the opposition teams enjoy coming here. So it's all well and good being favourites on paper. You've still got to go out there and get the job done, and the players deserve a lot of credit for that.
Tony Watts, the man who popped up with the equaliser, you must be particularly delighted for him, given the fact he's maybe going to have to lead the line for a couple of weeks given the injury to Louis Moult.
Yeah, I think you've seen from the reaction from the bench and from the players out there on the park in terms of the celebrations when that goal does go in for Tony, because we all see how hard he's working during the week. He's trying to get himself fitter and sharper, and he's continuously working on his finishing in and around the penalty area. And today all that hard work has paid off for him. He's got his rewards. He's very, very hard on himself at times, Tony, and it's something that continuously talking to him about. There's enough people out there to knock you when things aren't going well. He needs to stop doing it to himself at times. But we're all really, really pleased for him. He's a great boy in the dressing room. He's very well liked among the players. We gave him a little bit of responsibility this season with the vice captaincy role. He's took on that. With credit to him, he's been very, very good. And today, as I said, he gets his rewards. Delighted for him. Delighted for Glenn Middleton as well. We've maybe not been as good as what we should have been in the last couple of games in the final third, and those players at the top end are the ones that have to find the bit of magic needed to break down the opposition backlines. And Glenn with 3 assists, Tony with 2 goals, Kai Fotheringham with a goal himself as well. Really good all-round performance.
You've mentioned that lack of clinicality over the past couple of weeks, so that just must be what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, I think if you look back at the Morton game, we had 2 or 3 good opportunities to put the game to bed at 1-0, and then obviously we get punished with the calamity of errors that happened with the equaliser. I think even the Dunfermline game, when you think back the second game of the season, the game ends 1-1, but again we had enough opportunities in and around Dunfermline's penalty area to put the game to bed. And today, I'm just glad that we showed that bit of cutting edge. We worked during the week on getting the ball out wide early. We backed ourselves in those 1v1s. We had to get better crosses in the box, and I think today, you saw that. I think I'm really, really pleased with all of the goals, and as I said in the end, there, just managing the game that bit better would have been the icing on the cake.
For 89 out of the 90 minutes, we never really looked like conceding as well.
Yeah, defensively we've been great. I think the goal that we conceded today, I don't know if I can be too critical of the back line. I think Kevin Holt is maybe trying to be a little bit clever with the initial clearance. Instead of doing what he's normally does, is just turn the ball in behind the back line. I think he's trying to play a good pass into Tony's feet. Unfortunately, he gets cut out, and then Queen's Park exploit the space behind Holty, drags Declan Gallagher over. We don't get enough bodies back to recover, and from Queen's Park's point of view, I think you've got to give them credit. It was a very well worked goal. They had drove at the back line at pace. It was a really good cut back to the edge of the 18-yard line, and a terrific finish from the Queen's Park player. But I'm just really pleased with the character shown from the group again. As I said, never panicked, stuck together, got themselves back in the game. I was always believing that we would score. I felt at half time there was a really good vibe in the dressing room, and delighted for all the supporters that turned up. And again, we're very grateful to them. And they've maybe not had enough goals of late, but today to go and score 4 in front of your home fans is a very satisfying afternoon.